Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to see what happens when you take 10,000 iPhone screenshots of the same image. Most of us are familiar with what a deep fried meme is, but for those of us who aren't, it's what you call an image that has noise and grain added to it on purpose. This is supposed to make it funnier. Nowadays, people will do this to their images on purpose using deep fried meme generators or Photoshop, but this actually did used to be a naturally occurring phenomenon for images that were repeatedly screenshotted, uploaded, and downloaded again and again. We're going to take a look at that today and see if we can artificially replicate it with screenshots on an iPhone. How many screenshots does it take to get to what most would consider a deep fried meme? We're hoping to go up all the way to 10,000 images and see what it will look like after 10,000 supposed people screenshot the exact same image over and over and over again. The meme we'll be doing our experiment on is rev up those fryers from SpongeBob, because we're revving up the fryer. To do this right, we're going to get a screen cap from the original episode. So I've got SpongeBob episode 17, season 1 pulled up here.
It's a flying Dutchman's treasure! Go!
Hey, Mr. Krabs is getting all sweaty again.
Rev up those fryers!
Alright, this is the first screenshot here, and it looks perfect. I can't notice any difference between this and the actual episode. If you notice, the gradients on the window are nice and smooth. The detail in the ropes in the background and on the fin are all there. And it looks like a perfect representation, as expected, of what we got on the episode. So let's see what happens on number 20. You know, if we're going to get to 10,000 screenshots, there has to be a faster way to do this. And when I first started the video, I thought it would be a good idea to make an app that would automate this entire process. It would take a screenshot, save the screenshot, and then load it back just to repeat again. Okay, we have an app now. This will make everything a lot quicker and easier. So let's get to screenshot number 20 the easy way. Okay, now we're on image 20, and it looks pretty good actually. If you didn't know we were doing this experiment, you might not notice anything wrong with it. When you zoom, you can see some screen door effect, some pixelation happening on the gradients of the image, like the window back here and the floor. But on his actual body, especially his midsection and his pants here, there is not really much pixelation, not really much screen door effect. They look pretty normal. So overall, not bad. Alright, now we're on image 50, and let's take a look at it. Wow. Oh. Okay, it's very noticeable at this point. Anyone would definitely see there's something wrong with this image, and it seems like no part of the image is safe. Everything from the gradients to the solid colors, even the solid colors in his eyes, there is a pretty heavy screen door effect. There's a pretty heavy pixelation. And now we're beginning to see some red pixels, some red splotches appear all over the place. There's some purple ones too, a little less heavy. So overall, it's honestly a little bit worse than I would have expected. I thought that we would be looking like number 20 for a while. It's worth learning why these images appear noisy and grainy after screenshots in the first place. When you take a screenshot on any device, whether it's Windows, iPhone, or Android, the image is grabbed from the same place, the end of the render pipeline. The render pipeline is basically how images are displayed on screen. See, application developers like Facebook don't have to worry about how to display things on screen on the actual pixel level. Now the render pipeline is very long and can get very complicated, but the end result is what shows up on the screen. When a user takes a screenshot, the screenshot code goes to the end of the render pipeline and grabs the data from there. But then it has to convert that data to an image representation such as PNG or JPEG, and that conversion is never perfect because it was never designed to be a JPEG or PNG in the first place. To compound that data loss, there's something called compression. Compression tries to make your image file as small as possible to take up less space on your device. It does this by finding similarities in the image, like maybe two colors that are very, very similar but aren't exact, and turns them into one color. One color takes up less space than two. By going across the entire image and doing this, what we'll get is a smaller image at the cost of more errors. Now you'll never notice this after only one screenshot, which is why it happens. But if we take hundreds of screenshots or thousands of screenshots, then it will definitely add up. Alright, so we're on image number 100 here, and let's take a look at it. Oh wow, okay, so the screen door effect is gone, and now it just looks like a glitch. The red and purple pixels have completely taken over the image. It looks like ice cream sprinkles. The windows and the floorboards get it the worst. It just seems like the gradients are really picking up a lot of that heavy pixelation, while his midsection and his pants are still spared the most. They look pretty normal. So it looks better than I would have thought the 100th would have looked like. I don't know if it's going to be as recognizable on the 1000th though. Alright, image number 1000. Let's check it out. Okay, so it seems like at this point, the detail is going to be here forever because it's not going away. What is happening is that red and blue pixelation is just getting very intense here. Some colors are being taken over, especially on the window back here. It seems like it's almost all taken over by solid blue pixels. But some, like this table is completely spared. There's nothing on the inside of that table, which is very strange. Same thing with his pants. There's very little there. But these gradients here are just completely attacked. But the detail is still there. It's still very recognizable. Shocking. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised by this. I'm pretty surprised. Let's see if the trend continues all the way to 10,000. This is it. Screenshot number 10,000. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so right off the bat, it looks pretty similar to the 1000th image, I'll be honest. The red and purple pixelation is definitely worse. So overall, it looks a lot more glitchy, that pixelation look, than I would have expected. I thought that the colors would blur more and we would lose a lot of detail, like in a traditional deep fried meme, but that's not what's happening here at all. It just seems like the pixelation is pretty much taking over. And this is what a genuine, authentic deep fried meme would look like. Strangely enough, the difference between the 0th and the 100th image was a lot bigger than the difference between the 100th and the 10,000th image. So it seems like the distortion from the compression has kind of leveled off after number 100. You get a little bit more of this red and purple pixelation, but that's really the only difference. So we've retained a lot of detail, which is surprising. Now, on top of doing 10,000 images on the iPhone, I also ran this experiment on the iPad. So a screen that's about, 4 times the size, to see how the screen size would make a difference. And here's the 10,000th image, and the screen size makes a huge difference because there is no red and blue pixelation on this one. All the pixels are actually black here, and there is something happening in this image that didn't happen on the iPhone. There's color bleeding. So look at the background of the window. It seems like that purple is starting to bleed in, and same with the floorboards. The purple is starting to come up. You can see around his foot, it looks like the color from his foot just leached out into the floor. So there's a lot of color bleeding. That is definitely more traditional deep fried meme look. But overall, on this bigger screen, there is a lot more detail retained than the iPhone. I mean, I'll put these two images up side by side together looking at them, there's a huge amount of red and blue pixelation on the iPhone while none appears on the iPad. And the iPad has that color bleeding while the iPhone doesn't. This is super weird. It is the same code, the same screenshots running on both devices. They're both on the same operating system, the most recent version of iOS 13, and we have two totally different pictures here, two totally different results, both after 10,000 images. So this is definitely very strange. I guess you learn something new every day. So, that was a very unscientific test of what 10,000 screenshots looks like on an iPhone and an iPad. I had a lot of fun making this video and the app that automated the entire process. If you enjoy content like this, please leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks! How am I going to delete all this?